This is a very high-level summary of the various behaviors you may see in an IV curve test report. Some of these curves could give you clues on what the root issue is, and we'll go over these individually a little bit later. Here is a more detailed example of the IV curve issues that can occur. This graph is simulating issues that have occurred on a small array that is made of 3 modules per string and 2 strings total. These modules are made of 32 cells with 2 bypass diodes in each one. So if a bypass diode were to be activated, it would remove half of the cells within the module from the circuit. When we're talking about a module in a string, or talking about a string in general, we're talking about the 3 modules connected in series. All right, let's get back to the graph. First is partial shading on 1 and 2 modules in a string, and what that can look like. So we have here partial shading on 1 module and partial shading on 2. So first, let's take a look at the healthy reference here. So this is our healthy reference. Partial shading 1 looks like there's one huge step right here, and that's what that might look like. And on 2 modules, you can see 2 steps here, this yellow curve. Next is short circuit on 1 and 2 modules in the same string. And so we have SC1, SC2. You can see this purple curve and this green curve. So if you have a short circuit current on 1 module, that's going to reduce your voltage, right? So you're cutting out that potential for that module to contribute its voltage. And on 2, that voltage decreases even more. So then we have open circuit. So it's 1 string is open circuited. And this is when you might be testing multiple strings at one time. And that 1 string is not a part of the circuit, so it's not going to be contributing its current. So what that looks like, let's see this gray area, this gray curve here. So yeah, that looks like, the curve is smooth, but it's not contributing its current. So you're going to see a reduction in current. So that current's going to just be a lot lower overall. Next is these 2 types. I won't go too much detail, but there are 2 types of degradation. The first one is degradation where your maximum power point voltage decreases over time. So that's this orange one here. Let's compare this to this healthy curve. It would be, around 52, 53, 55-ish, right? So at this point, when the voltage has decreased due to degradation, we can see that significantly has decreased down to like 45. But the short circuit current is, very similar. Maybe it's decreased a little bit, but significantly more on the voltage side. And then the second type is a type of degradation that affects current. So let's take a look at that curve. It's that pink dotted line here. So kind of the same story, but the opposite direction. So we could see that the maximum power point is around here. So on the voltage side, that pretty much matches. So there's not a significant change on the voltage, but on the current side, it used to be, somewhere closer to just under 6, and now it's just over 5. So you can see that reduction of the maximum power point current that will affect the overall maximum power.